Welcome to Samut Rage Cage. As far as our opening hand goes, we've got Temple of Triumph, Naya Panorama, and yeah, I think this is good. We can Panorama. Yeah, I like this hand. This is a little bit slow in that we have to use Naya Panorama to find a green source, but yeah, everything else in here, I kind of like what we've got going on. We've got a combo piece in Kiki Jiki. We have some card advantage with Miri's Guile, Sword of Feast and Famine, some great protection against black, which are opponent's black-blue. We have Smothering Tide, which is a brand new addition to the deck. Can't wait to get this down to see if our opponent, typically black-blue, is not going to have a ton of wheel effects, but best case scenario, and if they're cashing in some card draw like Brainstorm or something, we can at least get down Smothering Tide and then, or even something like Serum Vision. So anyway, like this opening hand, a little clunky on the mana base, but hopefully the Magic Gods will treat us well, and we can end up with some really good mana base. But we are playing Samut, Voice of Dissent. It's been a long time since we played Samut. Flash, Double Strike, Vigilance, and Haste. Other creatures you control have Haste, and then for 1 white mana activation, untap another target creature. And let's see what we rip into. Come on, land. All right, Rhythm of the Wild. All right, so I added like basically 2 new cards to the deck, and that's Rhythm of the Wild and Smothering Tide. So hey, here we are. Don't have to do anything on ours. We're going to get down Temple of Triumph, get the Scry going, the Scurry, the Fever, the Insanity. Do we want this card? Yes, we do. Yeah, I mean, it's a colored source. Yes, we're going to put that on top. I mean, we do have triple red in Kiki Jiki, so we do need to start working towards red if we want to get that down. And we can go for Naya Panorama to grab ourselves a forest next turn. But yeah, we're playing Samut, then for 1 white mana activation, untap another target creature. Playing it's Yuriko? Yeah. The Tiger Shadow, might have rolled that stop sign, not sure. Commander Ninjutsu. Whenever a ninja you control deals damage to a player, reveal the top card of your library and then put that into your hand. Each opponent loses life equal to that card's converted mana cost. So we're going to draw into Sacred Foundry. Yeah, we want to go green probably as quickly as possible. So let's go Naya Panorama. Let's go and sacrifice it. We're going to grab ourselves a forest, and hopefully our opponent doesn't have Trick Bind or something. Oh man, that would... if they had Trick Bind, I think I would cry. All right, we get down forest. It's going to come into play tap. There's no more land drops, so we're going to go and pass the turn. So at least next turn, we're on for Miri's Guile. We'll see what else we draw into. Thankfully, if we get down Rhythm of the Wild, and I love this card. I've been doing a lot of standard arena videos, and anything that's just creature-based that has red and green in it. I love running Rhythm of the Wild in there just simply because it really helps you out against your control matchups. It can't be countered. And then outside of that, if you're playing against a creature-based deck that doesn't have counter spells, you can just have them roll in there with an extra 1 counter or haste, and I don't know, some good magic. So we did cover both commanders. Let's give a quick shout out to our sponsors, MTGOTraders.com. This channel will not be possible without them. So if you want to get into 1 versus 1 commander, if you want to get into multiplayer commander, legacy, modern, Penny Dreadful, any sort of really cool, awesome format, you want to play Magic, Magic Online is your #1 place to check that out. So make sure you hit them up. It's a great, let's say that you've played a lot of Arena and you've come across this video, don't know how to get into Magic Online. I'm going to try to do a video sometime on how to do it, but long story short, there's no wild cards. You can grab whatever card you need. That's one of the benefits of Magic Online. And let's see what we draw into. I'd like to hit another red, green, or Cultivate would actually work out really well. I think I kind of do like a Cultivate. So let's go Kessig Wolfram. That way we're not just taking a ton of damage. Let's go Cultivate. And our opponent's not up to a crazy start themselves. They've still got 3 lands on the battlefield, so, or at least nothing like mana rocks or anything like that. So we need to at least grab 1 more red source, and we need to grab another green source just to be safe. So let's put the green source onto the battlefield, red source into our hand. We have made the land drop for the turn. Okay, we're gonna go and pass it. So next turn we can end up going for Samut if we want to. If we don't go for Samut, we can at least go for Smothering Tide and also get down Miri's Guile, which I kind of do like that, especially if they're going to be... No, that's going to be a reveal, so it's technically not a card draw. If you heard a little tiny squeak, that was not Taysa, that was Dorothy. I was looking over the chat for a second. And our opponent, Tribal Kai. He has the EDH channel, so if you want to check it out, be sure to check him out. He does daily 1 versus 1 commander videos, and so if you enjoy my videos, I would assume that you would probably enjoy his videos too. We have a very common theme together in that we like to play commander, and we like to have fun giving some commentary. So be sure to check his channel out. In fact, he was in the most recent lounge, the Necasaur Lounge, and I'm glad he showed up for that. So some people like have been asking like whose idea was it? Like that was 100% my idea. Like, oh, did they go for? I don't know what just happened. Anyway, the Necasaur, that was my idea. I've been wanting to do that for a very, very long time. And so I'm glad that that did end up happening. Opponent's going to get down Lightning Greaves, and that's going to be Ornithopter. Okay, good. I thought Filth was the thing that made like contamination or something. It turned all of our lanes into swamps. I was like, oh no. But anyway, check his channel out. He's got some fun stuff. And also shout out to inkgaming.com. Use coupon code JOLT to get 10% off your order and help the channel out at the same time. So there you go. That we can get a cool play mat, whatever kind of floats your boat. So we've got, or dice bag. They've got dice bags too, which are pretty cool. We've got Hull Breach, destroy target artifact, enchantment. Or we can just go for a good utility turn. I think we're going to go utility. I kind of like doing that. We've got Smothering Tithe in here. I definitely want to get down. So let's do that. We go Mountain. Let's go Miri's Guile with 1 green mana. You know, if they've got a counter magic, they can certainly count. I think if we between the two, we definitely want Miri's Guile to stick. Simply just to kind of start filtering some of our card draw. And if we can find ourselves a fetch land, that'll really kind of help us out. But yeah, if you heard a little meow earlier, that was Dorothy. So she's in my lap now, so just giving you a heads up. If you're keeping score at home, you can definitely check the Dorothy's in my lap box, and then you'll be set. Now, this might be a counterspell. Negate, yeah, that's fine. So we got Miri's Guile to stick. It'd been nice to have Smothering Tithe, but you know, our opponent's not really getting into a ton of card draw. Their commander's going to be giving them the Ninjutsu Reveal ability, so it's just really not really, you know, there's not really a ton of card draw over there. So I'm glad that we got Miri's Guile to stick. Now, going forward, oh yeah, I haven't explained this deck. So if you haven't seen this deck, it's been a long time since I've played this. This is pretty much just a Naya kind of combo deck. You know, we've got a lot of Kiki Jiki synergy within the deck. You know, Kiki Jiki on something like Inferno Titan's always a lot of fun. In fact, that's always one of the win conditions that I want to go for. But it seems like we can never get it with this deck. I can't remember how many times we've tried to do Kiki Jiki with Inferno Titan with this deck, and I always get right to like the cusp of it, and it just doesn't happen. All right, so opponent's gonna be swinging in. That will be 2, 4, 5. That's gonna be 5. Let's knock us down to 8. So we need to get some sort of board state developed for us. And in fact, Kiki Jiki's not really gonna do it. So we might end up flashing Samut if we can somehow get down Rhythm of the Wild, but I don't think we have enough time for that. So. But yeah, with Samut, yeah, so we have a bunch of Kiki Jiki related combos. So we've got Zealous Conscripts in here, we've got the Village Bell Ringer, we've got just a whole ton of options for us to be able to, long story short, just kind of combo off at instant speed. But at this point right now, we're kind of in a bind. So let's go for, yes, we're definitely going to use Miri's Guile. Let's see what's on the top part. Sun Titan with nothing to bring back, and then a Catacombs to knock us down to 4, which would be lethal if we do that. So that's not exactly what we want to go for. So I think at this point, what we're going to do is we're just going to go and grab Sun Titan. That's going to be a good value play for us. And the next turn we can, oh, no, dang it. All right, anyway, we're going to draw fetch land. I forgot that, I thought it was going to go in the hand off that one. A little bit of a misplay. So we go, at this point, we're just going to get down Sacred Foundry. It's going to come into play tapped, not going to pay 2 life. And then we can still flash in Samut when they decide to swing in. So we'll see what they end up going for. They've got 4 cards in the hand. And once we flash in Samut, but they did have that Supreme Will reveal. I think they did. Because it was a swamp reveal off of that. So we'll still try to flash in Samut once they swing in. But I think with that Supreme Will, they're going to be able to tackle it. So I think either way, with the way this game kind of played out, I think our opponent's still going to get it. So let's go for Samut. And then that's going to be counter target spell unless it pays 3. So if that's the reveal zone correct, then I think that's kind of what we're playing into right now. Mana Drain, or just straight up Mana Drain. So good game to our opponent. I think that's going to be exactly 5. That's going to put us down to 0. So unfortunately, we did keep a very suspect opening hand, hoping that we get down Miri's Guile, and then the Commander Force took care of it. So that's unfortunate. But anyways, that's kind of the way Commander goes. Sometimes you keep some of those risky hands. If you enjoyed the game, like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye. Welcome to Samut Rage Cage. Hope you're excited. As far as opening hand goes, yes, we are going to keep on this one. And then also, we're playing against Tribal Kai. This is, I don't know how I'm going to sequence the videos, but this is the rematch between Tribal Kai and I. We got the Ninjas versus Samut, so I'm actually pretty excited about this. Let's lead off with Bloodstained Mire, and I'm going to cover our commanders in just a second. So we'll lead off with Bloodstained Mire, and yeah, while we're doing that, well, let's just see what we need to draw. We'll go and pass the turn. We're playing Samut, Voice of Dissent, Flash, Double Strike, Vigilance, Haste. Other creatures you control have haste. Then for 1 white mana, untap another target creature. Wall of text card. I love it. I remember whenever they released Samut, and I remember thinking like, oh, all right. Well, here's a Naya commander. Right? Okay. That's a lot of stuff on there. Playing against Yuriko, the Tiger Shadow, and that may be wrong, but that's just how it's going to be for the video. Whenever a ninja you control does combat damage to a player, actually, let's get the... and I'm waiting on these fetch lands. Oh, actually, we got a ton of fetch lands. We'll get down Scalding Tarn, and then just go and pass the turn. I'm waiting on these fetch lands because we've got double white in the hand, we've got a lot of green. Sometimes we need double red. So basically, until we just need to get down Oracle, I'm going to probably leave some of these fetch lands up. But yeah, so whenever a ninja you control deals combat damage to a player, reveal the top card of your library and put that card into your hand. Each opponent loses life equal to that card's converted mana cost. So that way we've got some black-blue kind of... a little bit of a tempo style deck. It's always fun to play a deck based on... In fact, I need to build her. That reminds me. But yeah, so we played earlier in our Tribal Kai. And in fact, if I didn't mention already, Tribal Kai has his own channel, so you should be sure to check it out. He does the same thing that I does, and that I do. And that is 1v1 commander while giving commentary. So I've watched a few of his videos, and I enjoy them greatly, so you should probably check them out too. I think you'd enjoy it. And it should be, and if not after this video, I'll double check. It should be on my main page. If you go to my main page, you can see a list of featured content creators, and then that way you can kind of see what's happening. All right, so we do hit e-call. Search your library for a creature card, put it in your hand, then shuffle your library. So I think at that point, that's going to be a wonderful way for us to... Well, we could get down a mana dork if we wanted to. That'd really open us up on mana. No, I think we want to save that for a combo piece. Yeah, let's do that. So what we're going to do is we're simply just going to go and pass the turn. We do have Selesnya Charm in our hand. A target creature gets +2/+2, gets trample, exile target creature of 5 or greater, and then create a token. So what we can do is we can actually use Selesnya Charm with this double strike. It actually works out really well, and then also works out as kind of a piece of removal in a pinch. So now that we've kind of hit our base, it looks like we're pretty much just kind of a heavier green-white. Now we do have Kiki-Jiki in here, and unfortunately we need like triple red for Kiki-Jiki. And so we'll at least grab one of these. We'll probably grab a red source off of Scalding Tarn and then Bloodstained Mire. Commander Ninjutsu. I always love imagining her jumping off the commander. Like, even though like Ninjutsu is supposed to be like a surprise, like you always know it's coming from from Yuriko or whatever. And so anyway, it just always makes me laugh. So let's get the revealed zone popped up. We did not take any damage off of that. Oh yeah, I was just like, it's supposed to be a secret, but you can see her coming from a mile away. So technically, you know, is she that good of a ninja that if you can see her hanging out over there? Anyway, I don't know. Kind of a little food for thought. It's like if you're in the forest, do you hear the tree falling? You know, if you see her in the command zone and she jumps out of the command zone, is she that good of a ninja? I don't know. But she's got card draw, and that's always pretty good. All right, so we're going to crack Scalding Tarn. Let's grab ourselves a Sacred Foundry. We're going to have that come into play tapped. Let's crack Bloodstained Mire. Let's grab a Sheltered Thicket. That way we can have that come into play tapped. Let's get this popped out because I do not want to misclick. There we go. Let's go ahead and grab Wooded Foothills. And I think we've got 3 red sources. 2 red sources. We need to grab another green source. I think that would be best. So, you know, let's just go and grab a Scattered Groves. Yeah, there we go. Scattered Groves. That's going to be a good mix. So we've got 2 of each color. We get down Governing Township, and we can get down Oracle. And then hopefully we hit a land on the top, and that'll really allow us to kind of start kind of chugging away. Okay, so we draw into Boros Charm. Let's go Governing Township. Yeah, let's go for this. Let's go Oracle. If they have some sort of spot removal, they've got it. We get down Oracle, and then that way we can... oh, yeah, let's get the Scry going. The Scurry. Do we want Gardening Project on top? That's going to be Samut, Mangara, E-Call. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. Yeah, we'll get the scry going, the scurry, the fever. Always, well, we know what's on top, so I don't get to do the scry thing, but I still want to do it anyway. So we're going to put Guardian Project on top, and then we're going to go and pass the turn. So with Ninjutsu, we do have our opponent's commander potentially swinging in. We can still block with Oracle, and then once we draw into Guardian Project, we can at least get that down and start going for Mangara. Now, one of the cool things about Mangara is that we can get her down. She has haste, so we can exile target permanent, and then we can use Samut to untap her and get another permanent. So what we can do is we can get that down and take care of our opponent's creatures, so we might end up trying to do that. If you haven't seen this deck before, it's been a long time since I've done this deck. This is a little bit more of a cutthroat Naya style deck. You know, we do have a combo piece that we can finish in here. We're not running any sort of like wasteland locks or anything like that, but you know, kind of going for some nasty plays like Mangara, double activations. That's pretty much what this deck wants to do. It is the Rage Cage. You know, we can get our opponent in the Rage Cage and see if they can get out. And so the other way that we do win is through instant speed combo. That's going to be Kiki Jiki, Zealous Conscripts, Village Bell Ringer. It also puts us in a position where if we get down Kiki Jiki and just end up with a bunch of just value on the board state, we can get some really nice enter the battlefield triggers going, like Ripjaw Raptor, Captain Sisay. So there's just a lot of stuff in here that allows us to be as aggressive as possible, and at the same time building up a good board state and just having a way to close the game out. So that's pretty much what we want to do. Now, opponent's going to be going for a scroll rack, so I'll go and let them do the scroll rack, and then we'll kind of jump back into commentary. Okay, so our opponent ended up going for a scroll rack activation, and they did crack Polluted Delta, so that's a good sign, and that's them trying to get rid of some cards, so I will certainly take that. And I just realized that with scroll rack and our opponent's commander, exile any number of cards from your hand face down, and then put that many cards from top to underneath. Then, yeah, so you can stack a Yuriko pretty bad if you want to make them hit some pretty good damage. So something to kind of keep in mind. And now that I think, I wish we would kind of put Guardian Project on the bottom, but now I think we'll make it work because hopefully we hit a land after we draw into Guardian Project. That would just make me feel really good. Or Mana Crypt, but we can't draw into Mana Crypt. Okay, so we go Guardian Project. We can simply just flash in Samut, who does have haste, double strike. That's definitely a really good option to go for too. And the only downside is we cannot get Rancor onto Samut. But you know what? Let's go and get her down. I think I like that. We need to get the Rage Cage going. And one of the ways that you can really just go to town with this deck is by putting Rancor onto Samut. Giving her just that +2/+2 just turns it into a commander damage machine. So in fact, we're going to go and swing in. Let's get that closed out. And the fact that she has Vigilance and Double Strike, man, it's just a really good feeling, especially against a board state like our opponents, where they've got the Tiger, Viscer Seer, Mistcloak Herald. And Mistcloak Herald reminds me of the Mono Blue Flyers deck that you've been seeing a lot in Standard. All right, so we're going to get Double Strike on Yuriko. And we're going to get... there we go. All right. Anything else? No, we're going to go and pass the turn. So that I feel that was a good sign. You know, that does put our opponent's commander back into the command zone, then go for that ninjutsu. But what it does for us is that's going to be at least 2 more mana to get that down. Go for Mistcloak Herald. They can set up a really nice scroll rack, but I think at this point we want to go Rancor next turn because that's going to give it make it a 5/4. We go for Selesnya Charm. That's going to make it a 7/7 double strike. That's going to be 14 total commander damage. And then Samut already has double strike. So unfortunately, we can't go Boros Charm and go like double strike. That'd be pretty cool. But at least next turn, we do have Mana Crypt on top, so we can get that down, end up with a little bit of extra mana. But with this Mistcloak Herald, one of my favorite things about this deck is on Magic Online is it's a very Delver style deck. So, you know, if you haven't got into playing any of the new standard stuff, check out the Mono Blue Flyers deck. It's a lot of fun. I think you can make it for like $50 in paper, which is just really silly. And I always enjoy it. Oh man, hopefully we don't get hit by a really bad scroll rack. We'll see. But one of the cool things about it is that, I don't know, it's just a really rewarding deck to play and a really rewarding deck to kind of learn and play against. And in fact, I've built like a Grixis version of it too, so that's kind of cool. Okay, so they swung in unblockable. Let's see what the scroll rack's going to reveal. Hopefully this is not, we're not going to get hit too bad. Okay, so they're going to deal that damage. Okay, worst things could have happened. Return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand, and then target opponent discards 2 cards. So at this point right now, they don't have enough mana to cast that. If that's all they're going to reveal, that's fine. But actually, oh yeah, now that I think about it, I think on the stack, that's like 8 mana? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I think that's correct. So that's another way, because I don't remember what our life total was at. Let's get the chat pulled up. I'm going to see what that was. I think that's what it was. Okay, opponent's going to get down Ornithopter, and then either way, we're looking at mana crypt. I can't look it up, but I'm pretty sure once a split card is on the stack, it's like the total converted mana cost of what's going on. Now, with the Consign, return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand, they can certainly bounce back Samut. In fact, that would be a wonderful line of play to go for if we end up going Rancor and especially Selesnya Charm. So we'll see what our opponent decides to go for. And then Rogue's Passage on top, let's get that down. And then Smothering Tithe. Okay, permanents you control get indestructible. Unfortunately, the indestructible doesn't stop us from the return target to non-land permanent to its owner's hand. So let's see, we swing in with Samut, we can't flash in a creature. I still think we want to get down Mana Crypt. Because here's the deal, we go for Mangara right now. I do want to do that, but our opponent's going to bounce it in return, I would assume, but we still recast it. Yeah, let's give that a shot. I think that'll be a pretty good, even if they bounce it, except that we do need, I think we're a little bit bottlenecked on white mana. Because if we go double white, we're not going to have... No, excuse me. No. We can do that. I'm thinking it's Naya colors to get down Samut. So no, we can make this work. So we go Mana Crypt. And let's go for Mangara. Because we want to exile some of these unblockable creatures, especially something like Ornithopter. We don't have an option for that. So that's going to put our opponent in a position where they're going to have to go for Consign. Let's see if they want to end up going for Consign. And the cool thing about forcing our opponent on this particular line of play is they have this Consign in their hand. They consign Samut, then we get a free exile with Mangara. If it enters the battlefield, we get a free untap with it too. So you know what? Let's go and do that now. Let's go for the it's exile Scroll Rack, and then let's go for the untap target creature. And then once that does untap, we're going to be able to exile Ornithopter too. They're still going to be able to bounce it back to the hand, but, well, actually, if they bounce Samut, yeah, that's fine. Bounce Samut back to the hand. We're still going to get the untap. Oh, excuse me, but we can't go for that activated ability, so nice play by our opponent. So at least we got rid of Scroll Rack. That's going to really kind of help us stop the setting up of our opponent's handcrafting their hand. That does give us 4 mana left over. Let's just go and get down a Guardian Project. That way we can start rolling out a few more of these creatures, and once we cast Samut, that'll allow us to cash in some card draw, and we can still at least kind of stop Yuriko from swinging across, or, now that it's on the battlefield, the Ornithopter's not going to do much. So we did got rid of that particular bounce target spell back to their hand, or target permanent. We've got Smothering Tithe on top. Might end up going for E-Call on Smothering Tithe because I'm not super wild about having Smothering Tithe at this point right now. And so we might E-Call during our upkeep just to kind of shake it up just a little bit. The only downside is if we end up going E-Call at this particular point right now, we don't really have a set, typically if you have a tutor or a creature tutor, you want to have something that's going to complete the combo for this deck. So we don't have Kiki Jiki. Like if we had Village Bellringer, we could, we're going to grab Kiki Jiki. Since we don't have it, we'll kind of see what we want to go for. But it is entirely possible that if we don't want to draw into Smothering Tithe, we could E-Call during our upkeep to try to set up a few more lands. That way we can kind of... try to just keep our opponent depleted on resources. That's kind of what we want to do against this deck. When you're playing against a deck that can really replenish card draw very quickly, you just want to try to exhaust their resources quickly. And Samut is just so good at just coming down and just being an immediate threat. That double strike, vigilance, haste. Like I mentioned, we just throw Samut on there, throw Rancor on there, and we are good to go. So let's get our opponent's commander pot back up. And that way we can put her back on the little ninja perch that she was hanging out on. And our opponent's going to go for a Liliana Vest activation, so let's just go and let them resolve this trigger. Okay, so we've got Ornithopter swinging in. So I had to go grab some water real quick. I've been recording this morning, and my commentary has been operating at a somewhat good pace, and so I'm yakking a bunch, and my mouth is getting a little... All right, so let's knock us down to Rags to Riches. Okay, yeah, that is the converted mana cost of that. So that was brutal. That's going to put us at 11. And that's basically just going to leave Viscera Seer. on the battlefield. Now, if we e-call during our upkeep, that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's not going to leave us a lot for Samut. Yeah, I guess we're gonna have to leave some other Tithe on top, but I think our opponent's going to get it. It's so brutal, revealing those dual swords. So we're going to choose tails on this one. Lost the flip. That's going to put us down to 3, and then let's see what we rip into. Okay, Temple Garden on top. So even if we do, all right, let's do some. We got to cast Samut first. That's going to be 1, 2. Still make it unblockable. Still need to leave up Rancor for Temple Garden. All right, so we're going to go Samut. I think our opponent's going to get it. We're going to be able to, in response to that, let's go ahead. Oh, dang it. Well, I meant to play that off the top of the Oracle. That way we could potentially draw into a different card, but Arid Mesa is fine. All right, so we get down to Arid Mesa. That's going to be Sun Panel Grove. It's going to be a little less taxing on what we've got going on. But even then, if we shock that in, they can still... They're going to get the reveal. They can still sacrifice the creature. Let's say we go Rancor. Yeah, I'm trying to think. So we end up going Rancor on Ornithopter. I don't think we have enough colored mana. We go Rancor on Ornithopter. Let's make it a 2/2 plus. Yeah, we can't exile it too. 4 damage target player, Planeswalker. I was trying to think that we could go for Rancor and Selesnya Charm and really kind of buff up the board, but I don't think we're going to be able to get it on this one. We can at least still block, but I think that flip's going to get it. Let's still go ahead and go Rancor onto Samut. That's going to make it a 5/4. That's going to give it trample. And then we go +2, that's going to make it 7. That's going to be 14. So let's go and push it with Samut, since it does have Vigilance. Yeah, I was trying to think that we could potentially Rancor on one of our opponent's creatures and Selesnya Charm and Boros Charm, but man, I just don't think we have enough mana to do it all. So let's go and push in with our opponent. That's going to be Samut swinging in for 5/4. Because we are sitting at 3. This is not going to be good for us. Swinging in at 5/4. Yeah, because once they end up going for Viscera Seer, it'd be like my kingdom for some sort of artifact destruction. We're gonna give them +2/+2, so it's gonna make it a 7/6, and then I think they're gonna get it on the back end. Well, it depends on what the reveal is gonna be. Maybe we can get lucky and not have a reveal, but we'll see what's going on. So 7/6, that's gonna put it at 14 total commander. We're gonna try our best, and then it's gonna put them down to 12. Than anything else, we're going to go and pass the turn over our opponent. So, might be dead next turn. Kind of depends on what's going on. We'll probably see the Viscera Seer sack on our opponent's commander. Ornithopter swing in. So, unfortunately, if we could find some sort of way to deal with the Ornithopter, we would have been maybe kind of been able to stabilize. But with the reveal zone, I think our opponent's going to get it. But you can see where it is fully capable of Samut to deal some good damage to our opponent. You can see we got in there with Rancor, and Rancor is so good in this deck. No matter what sort of build you go with Samut, toss 1 copy of Rancor in there because it is just so good. It just basically, it's not a combo piece of Samut, but it really allows you to do some really nice things. So, and then even effects like Selesnya Charm, +2/+2, or Boros already has double strike, but running a lot of these charms really does help the deck out. So, all right, we got Ornithopter swinging in. And the line of play that I was thinking about going for earlier, if I didn't explain it correctly, would have been Rancor onto Ornithopter. That'd make it a 2/2. Then we go Selesnya Charm to pump it up. That would have make it a 4/4. Our opponent's going to reveal Dig Through Time. Good game to our opponent. That was some good matches back and forth. Or a couple games back and forth. So I really enjoyed that. Unfortunately, the opponent's going to get it on this one. Those split cards, those are brutal. They really attack your live total. So definitely a good build by our opponent. Make sure you check out our opponent's channel too. He puts out some really good videos. And if you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.